Let's make some noise. So let's make some noise, New Zealand. For all the people that have donated, thank you so much. It's been huge. We're awesome. Hey, thanks for everybody who's donated. Want to make some noise for you? It's the last day of Bikes for Kids, day 29 days of February. It's a leap year. Next year I need to do 28 or 280 minutes because it's 10 minutes a day. And if you're still keeping up with the pace of this, whoa, the pedaling pace is getting furious as I melt the K's away through the caverns of West Auckland. Meadsy, I have not forgotten you. The Ironman suit is on its way. So there will be a final ride, I guess. We've got a little bit to go, so I'm going to ask you to tag in a mate. If you haven't donated, to donate a coffee's worth. If you want to donate more, it's of course extremely gratefully, graciously received on behalf of the kids who will get bikes from Variety New Zealand. Hang on, just going a bit of off country, on country. We're awesome! So riding through February, 10 minutes a day, Bikes for Kids, and asking you all to donate. We're awesome! It's been an interesting challenge. I did it last year, to get my behind off the sofa, keeping it kid friendly. And promptly at the end of it, I was exhausted from all the videoing and editing that I stopped doing the biking and just picked it up again this year. So the magic trick will be for me to continue. And let's get this motor running, eh? And that is, there are kids who don't get access to bikes who would love a bike. And then there is a global problem with kids not participating in sport. Now, you might have heard a lot about it here in New Zealand with the 5 major sports removing all of their competition games up to under 16 because kids want to. Rugby player of the 90s and a rugby coach of the 2010s. I've been reflecting on it a lot because a lot of the stuff is written around the kids, and I think it may be polite, but it doesn't necessarily pinpoint that there's a heck of a lot of coaches that don't know what they're doing and volunteer. There's a heck of a lot of volunteers that don't even volunteer these days. You know, I see it as a coach where parents don't have the time these days. I myself don't have the time to coach. I'm working late. I'm running like a little hamster on the wheel to make sure I can pay the mortgage. Covers all sorts of bills for anybody, right? Same deal. But yeah, there's lots of things happening, but it just made me think, okay, if there are kids who want to be outside and can't get outside because of the lack of bikes, that's almost an irony to the fact that there's a whole lot of kids that could be outside and aren't because they're not participating in sports. There we go. Thanks Shane for fixing my brakes because they now work properly. We're in the safety zone. So yeah, have I made that point or have I just waffled around in circles? There's a bunch of kids that can't get out onto their bikes because they don't have them, and we're getting them because you're donating and I'm cycling. I also donated, by the way, just so that you know I've got the skin in the game that like I'm asking you to as well. And then there are kids who could but don't. Now admittedly they might have other choices, and it's not simply about not being part of a sport, because kids can go out on their bikes as individuals. Whereas I think it's a lot of the team sports that are suffering, and we're also very individualistic and selfish almost. So I wonder if, you know, if all of us business people think about that term, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Well, if that's the case, I always ask what forms culture, and it's language, isn't it? Right? Language and behaviour. So if we're always on our iPhone, I this, I that, then it's always about me. And if we've always got instant gratification, then how can you, as a kid that grows up with that culture, then be expected to go to practice and get dirty in the mud, sweat, working hard, keeping kids' language there, and do basically the opposite of I everything, because it's for the team. There's no I in team, but there's an I in iPhone and an I in everything else. So is there an actual modern day culture clash? There's a big debate for someone to get hooked into. Let's do it. Let's see if we can solve this, because kids could and should be joining team sports and getting out there. No, they don't have to be a bloody All Black, and they shouldn't feel that they should give up because they're never going to be either. You know, sport is about teamwork, teammates, having fun, and perhaps somewhere along the line. So today is day 29. There's an extra day, it's a leap year, and that is the conclusion of both Bikes for Kids for Variety Charity and the Aotearoa Challenge, which is a nationwide bike challenge, again to get you out on your bike. Bikes for Kids, and asking you all to donate. So let's make some noise, New Zealand, for all the people that have donated. Thank you so much, it's been huge. We've got a little bit to go, so I'm going to ask you to tag in a mate. We're awesome.